Hey, everybody. Fascinating guest and conversation today with an innovator in the AI arena at IgniteTech. Eric, how are you?
Evan, I'm great and really excited to be here with you today. You're right.
Excited to have you.
There's a lot going on. You're right.
There's a lot going on, particularly with you, with your really intriguing business model. It's all about revitalizing and innovating with software. Let's start with introductions, maybe to yourself. And who is Ignite? And what's the big idea? What's the mission?
Sure, you bet. I'm Eric Vaughan. I'm the CEO of IgniteTech and GFI Software, two software companies under the same company umbrella, but different. IgniteTech is an enterprise software company. GFI Software specializes in solutions for small and medium businesses. But both of these companies are run by my joint leadership team, and for the most part, a consolidated team that run both of them. IgniteTech has thousands of customers all over the world, very large, global, multinational brands that many companies whose names people would recognize. Where GFI Software has 50,000 plus customers, but these are small and medium businesses, everything from attorneys' offices to small healthcare professionals. More of the SMB market that is very global. In fact, more than 2/3 of our customers are outside of the United States. I was the founder and CEO of three different software companies. I've been running IgniteTech and GFI Software for the last 8 years. And we have had so many things happen in our world over the last 30 years, but there's been nothing that I've seen that is changing everything as AI has. And you're right, now there's so much going on as a result of that, and it's changed everything we're doing.
Yeah, exciting times, a lot to unpack. So you have a wide range of products aimed at improving business performance. But what are some of the drivers there around performance transformation? What are you helping businesses, both small and large, with exactly?
Okay, well, so in the enterprise software business, IgniteTech, we have over 40 products, and it spans a wide
Wow.
range of solutions that everything from sales and marketing intelligence for sales and marketing teams at corporations to employee engagement. A product of ours called Jive is one of our largest products and most used and loved, that it helps companies bring their employees and their teams together. One very large government organization uses it with 160,000 members of their army, for example. Whereas
Mhm.
GFI software focuses on IT solutions, things like firewalls and patch protection for PCs and mail servers and even fax servers that are still, surprisingly, people don't realize it's still a multi-billion-dollar industry, the fax business, because of healthcare primarily. It's one of the ways that you can have the kinds of compliant communications in the health sphere you can. So it's a broad range.
That's amazing. So you and I go back to an era we used to buy software shrink wrapped in boxes in a store. Do you remember that? You take it out of the box and you owned it. What a time that was. But maybe explain your approach to software, to revitalizing software companies, your kind of fresh approach to the marketplace, and what's different from the myriad of existing SaaS applications that are out there.
Yeah, I do remember those days. In fact, I had a conversation internally just a couple of weeks ago where somebody said, "Do you think we should create a box for that product?" And I said, "What do you mean a box? A graphic of a box, like you used to buy." And I said, "I am not sure anyone's going to understand that at all. I don't think that makes any sense." Yeah, we're an M&A-driven company. So I mentioned we've got 40 products at IgniteTech, and this is a consolidation of many different software companies. We're a very acquisitive company. We're privately held. We're a family office, not a private equity firm. And we buy companies and keep them. We don't sell them. It's not like we have a fund that we're managing and we exit like other private equity firms. So we're very M&A based. And that's why we have such a diverse set of products across the portfolio. So instead of integrating them, we don't buy them to integrate them. We buy them to add value to our existing customers, because our focus is primarily on retention versus new product growth. New product or new revenue growth comes from subsequent acquisitions. So we're very focused on retaining our customers and trying to add value with each acquisition, which is a little bit of a different business model.
Yeah, I love it. I love different, fresh approaches to this market. And customer success seems to be a big priority for Ignite Tech and your various software companies. What's your approach to keeping customers happy and ensuring they stay with you
Well,
for the long term?
yeah. I mean, it's certainly the focus. And when you're a retention-based business, customer success is everything. It's interesting. We buy a lot of companies that have great customers and excellent technology, but the companies have been completely mismanaged. Mismanaged is maybe too strong of a word. They used their money too quickly and they ran out of funds. That's very common. We see that a lot where we'll see companies upside down, but we see the customers as blue chip customers who are dependent on this technology. So our approach is to really dive in deep with them and understand how do they use it, why do they depend on it, and help them set a vision for where we're going. We're very
Mm.
vision oriented in terms of the product exists as it does when we bought it, but now how can we take it to another level completely? And we've really spent a lot of time with customers over the last year and a half. In particular, that vision always starts with two letters, and that's AI. AI has changed everything we've done in every single way. Our company has transformed dramatically really starting in the early 2023, when it was obvious that this was one of the most significant technology shifts that we've ever seen in the industry. Bar none. Really been almost 20 years since the last major shift, and that was the advent of the iPhone and having smart mobile devices that people could run applications on. This movement with AI, and specifically Gen AI, is changing everything. So we've kind of bet the farm on it, Evan. And I was just at a conference in San Francisco just a few weeks ago, and I told the story. We're a 30-year-old enterprise software company who has created an AI startup inside of our enterprise software company. And the reason we did that was fear, purely fear. Fear that we would be irrelevant, fear that we'll get run over by competitors who saw this and we didn't, fear that we're not moving fast enough. And we've tried to really drive that concept that if we all don't, and I mean literally everyone, every walk of life, every business, don't work very hard to transform very quickly, we're going to be left behind. And we're a tech company. We shouldn't be left behind. We should be leading. So we started a very broad program to transform everything we did at the company, literally every process and every person. And we went on a journey for almost a year of investing in education, in sponsoring projects, in training, bringing in outside speakers and outside experts to really help bring life to this AI revolution. And at the end of the day, I'm unhappy to report that almost 80% of our team ended up getting replaced. Wow. Not reduced, replaced over that year. And it's a wide variety of reasons. You find, first of all, that when you make this kind of a significant change in a company, you have a cultural change, and some people don't want that. And that's fine. They just can't stay. And we made that decision early on. And over the last couple of quarters now in 2024, we have been hiring what we call AI innovation specialists for every domain in the business. So AI innovation specialists for finance, AI innovation specialists for marketing, for sales, for software engineering, for customer support. So our people's collective brain now is focused on AI. It's the first thing anybody thinks of when they start to do anything. Write code, produce a report, create marketing collateral, get ready for a podcast, go put it all into the AI and work with that, right? That's the transformation. And we did that because we want now to take that to our customers and lead them with that as well, and also have them benefit from the remarkable efficiencies that can come from this. I mean, the automation, the way of revising your processes. I mean, just as one example, our customer support now, which is, ticket-based support, people asking for help with our software products, almost 70% of all the tickets are able to be solved by AI. I don't want to say chatbot
Mm.
because people unfortunately have previously bad experiences with chatbot that weren't very intelligent. But this new round of AI chatbots where you really can get your problem solved because you can go deep into the conversation is quite remarkable. So that's a lot to unpack, to use your phrase at the start of the podcast. So I'll pause there. I'm sure I inspired a few questions.
No, that's extraordinary. I would concur. My little business has kind of 10x'd its capabilities over the past year through various AI tools. It's been quite a journey. Now, you serve many different customers in many different industries. Do you think certain industries are more ripe for transformation, disruption with AI, and how do you tailor and scale into those industries?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. If I think about it across the landscape, my initial answer is no.
Mm.
I oddly have seen publicly held technology companies where I've seen internal memos with more caution about using AI than I have at a very large financial institution that we work with. And I would say that the differentiator is the top leadership. It's the orientation of the CEO down. And I renamed my Twitter handle. I am the Gen AI CEO because I wanted to put it out there to everybody that this is who I am and what I'm trying to lead. And I do believe that that is an important differentiator. This has to come from the top down. This mandate, this uh, uh, realization of how important it is to act now and not wait, or you're going to be left behind. It can't be little pockets of the company. So no, I've seen very large manufacturer, very large automobile manufacturer, a very global brand that everybody would recognize, one of our key customers, CEO top down has really driven the same kind of transformation that we've seen as well. But they need education and they need
Mm.
confidence. And that's another area that we're looking to help our customers with, IgniteTech uniquely. And we're doing that not only through our processes and our consulting and our support, but now we're trying to inspire a new generation of software. And you'll see on my background here, I have this MyPersonas. MyPersonas is a brand new piece of software that we wrote from the ground up in the last 7 months. Now that's just a silly statement. I mean, I've never been able to go from vision to code that people can touch and use in 7 months. But we did that because we've got this AI powered team. They're writing code using AI. They're developing the environment using AI. They're ideating on how to improve the vision with AI. And MyPersonas, it's so fun to talk about because people get it as soon as you do. Imagine if there could be more than one Evan Kirstles. What if there were 3 of you, or 4 of you, or 5 of you? And when I say you, it looks like you, it sounds like you, it's your voice, it's your image, you're moving on the video, but it's completely built upon your knowledge. Now, your knowledge is whatever you feed it, of course. It could be everything from your email repository to, in your business, I would say transcripts of your past podcasts, could be schedules, could be any number of things. And all the people all day long that need to get to Evan to ask him questions can go to Evan's persona instead and ask those questions, and got a really good chance, depending on how much knowledge you feed it, that it will give that person the answer. That just stopped a ping. That just stops somebody from having to get a hold of Evan to find out what's happening or to get an answer to a question. And here's the magical part of MyPersonas, though. If the person is doing that and interacting with your persona, and it gets to the point where it knows it doesn't have the answer, it has the ability to contact you directly in real time by either sending you an email that you could respond to, or a mobile application that we've written for both iOS and Android. You'll get a notification on your phone. You're sitting out at lunch. Hey, Tina Touch has a question for Evan. And I haven't been able, your persona is telling you this in the app, hasn't been able to answer that. Do you want to answer that? And if you think it's important enough, you can stop what you're doing right there and answer it. It'll go back to the persona session. The person will get the answer. And here's the best part. It then updates the knowledge of your persona, so the next time that same question is asked, it will be answered by the persona. And so this model is remarkable. The more we talk about it, the more we demo it, we see customers the only way I can describe it is I see relief on their face. Like, you're kidding. Oh, finally, I'll be able to, stop all the incessant pings, stop the constant repetitive questions. Imagine an HR manager, imagine a legal, somebody in your legal department, imagine a product expert, because these questions are always over and over and over again, the same kinds of questions. And yes, we have documents and we have repositories and search, but people don't read. We know that. People just don't. They just want to ask. So we're super excited about this. We have delivered it in Q3 of 2024 as we promised we would. We've got early customers working with us as we launch it here in 2024, and we're going to do all that in less than a year. Now, that's what the power of AI is doing for everybody. You mentioned it 10x your capabilities. Look at the capabilities that we're able to build.
That's extraordinary. First of all, sign me up. It sounds amazing. My wife might have some issues with multiple of my personas, but that's another story. So you're making such an impact with all these solutions. Do you have any, without picking favorite children, do you have any favorite anecdotes or examples of where you're making a big impact for different clients?
Well, what's interesting about MyPersonas in the launch is people are imagining use cases that we've never thought of. So I had at the conference that we were at, the same one I mentioned just a few weeks ago, somebody came by the booth and they said, where I could see this be really amazing is capturing knowledge of people, whether or not we use the personas, but literally capturing the knowledge. So if that person leaves for any reason, we've got this beautiful bucket of that roles knowledge that we could then turn over to the next person, and through the persona interface could literally knowledge transfer with the persona. And I said that was an interesting concept. The other thing that I'll point out is when we envisioned MyPersonas originally, we certainly focused on enterprise clients, our enterprise class clients, but it was very quick to point out that small and medium businesses are going to benefit from this too. We had people running insurance offices, insurance agents with two people in their office. They said, "Oh my God, could we use this? We could stand up our agent. You could have an interaction with the agent and actually ask him questions, and then it goes to him if he can't get to it." I mean, they love that idea. So we've had to revamp. It's fun because everybody keeps helping us reimagine our vision. And so we keep revising our approach, because small and medium business can't pay the kind of money that an enterprise client might. So we had to find ways to make that fit, top to bottom. And that's been super interesting. So I wouldn't say there, to answer your question, no favorites. What I'm enjoying is, again, the relief that people feel when they understand it, and then the ideas that they have that are taken in many different directions, all at the same time.
Fantastic. You mentioned SMEs and SMBs, and a segment often overlooked by, the many big tech or large SaaS solutions out there. We're in this era of doing more with less, and certainly SaaS spending, SaaS sprawl has kind of gotten out of control. How do you think about value for money and pricing, and this challenge that business owners have, like me, with, we just got too many licenses of too many products that we don't really even use that much?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting question. I'm glad you asked it because it also reminded me of something that I think is very important. SaaS has been, of course, a model that caught on, originally from Salesforce. Salesforce is the company that really inspired the concept of cloud computing. A lot of people don't remember that Salesforce's first logo was the word software with a no symbol over it, which really didn't make any sense because, of course, it was 100% software. What they meant was it'll run in our data center. You'll just connect to it over a browser and not have to install it anymore. So the whole SaaS market has been, remarkable and empowering, and people are able to scale. But you're right, they end up with this diverse set of portfolio of products. However, over 50% of data in companies' data stores today are in on-premise or private cloud data centers. People don't realize this. Hock Tan, the CEO of Broadcom, just a month ago at one of his events, talked about he sees a shift away from SaaS back into private data centers or private cloud because of AI and because of the call it paranoia or over concern about where's my data going when we send it to the AI. And if one of the answers is nowhere, it's always within our walls, that feels safer to people. And I think that's a really interesting concept. Our customers are diverse in SaaS and on-prem. And that's why MyPersonas, we wrote it, the vision of it and the way we're delivering it, day one will be both SaaS and on-prem. I mentioned that government organization that empowers their 160,000 Army people. Yeah, they're never going to respond to, all you have to do is connect to AWS and send your data to OpenAI and MyPersonas will work. They're not even going to respond to that, right? This is a government military organization. So there's no interest in that. And there's many other examples. So what's interesting to your question is if you believe Hock-Tan, and I don't know if there's going to be a dramatic shift, but I do see the concern over AI security and ensuring control over how we're using AI, that it could be a threat to future SaaS, opportunities. And I'm telling my colleagues in the software development world, other software companies, that they are, and the AI people are particularly bad at this. They're ignoring on-prem as if it doesn't exist. Because we've had conversations with them about partnering with us on different things. They're like, no, we're totally focused on cloud because it's easy and it's there and it's available. But I think they're going to miss out. And I'm glad we're not going to. We're going to have both. And we're going to take care of our on-prem customers as well as the SaaS customers. So that's an interesting shift of things to watch for.
Yeah, shift indeed. I'm almost reluctant to ask you about key trends in the future. You're sort of living in the future today, but what's next for you? Where do you see yourself headed with Gen AI, and what can we expect over the next number of years?
Well, there's never been a more exciting time in my career. Certainly in my professional life, I've never seen so much change. We are at the beginning of a frontier. It's like the gold rush,
Hmm.
and everybody's grabbing for that gold, and we're seeing that. Some of it's fool's gold. You'll look at it and you're like, yeah, that doesn't work or doesn't even make sense. I think that companies like IgniteTech that have a foundation in providing solutions to customers and understand customers' needs from small and medium all the way to enterprise, bringing AI to them will make more sense than a lot of these AI startups that we're seeing. I think they're great in terms of ideas, but we're seeing a lot of half-baked solutions hit the market. And large companies don't usually deploy widely half-baked solutions. They may try them in a little corner in an R&D setting, but they don't deploy it. And when you say what's in the future, I have to define that in maybe the next 6 months, because if I think about where we were a year ago, just 1 year ago, compared to where we are today, it's such a dramatic shift that I can barely predict, except AI will be a big part of it. Anybody that thinks this is a fad or it's overhyped or it's going away, or they're like an ostrich and have stuck their head in the sand, hoping when they come up, it'll be gone, they're wrong. And everyone needs to find out how to navigate this for their own career, for their own company success, in all of it. AI is going to be a big part of it. And I think we're going to see, to really be the right answer to your question, enterprise class or business class applications that deploy innovative, creative AI that customers can just understand and use for the benefit. And what I mean by that is MyPersonas is using all kinds of the latest AI techniques like RAG and vector store and multiple LLMs, but you never heard me say any of that because I don't think the customers want to hear any of that. They're hearing that right now and they don't even know what to say. That a lot of them don't know what it means. And so the industry's scaring them to some extent. So I think where we're going to see, winners and ones that really help shape the future are people that understand business and deliver those kinds of class solutions that are benefit based, not technology based, even though the tech's there, if that makes sense.
No, it totally does. Very exciting future. what are you personally looking forward to the run up to year end? Any meetups, events, other travel that you're excited about sharing?
Yeah, as 24 comes to a close, we are going to be part of the Financial Times AI Summit in
Mm,
London in early November. We've just signed on as a lead sponsor. I'm going to have the fun opportunity to have a fireside chat. You know, they never have fireplaces. They always talk about the
I
fireside chat.
know.
It's never a
I
fireplace.
feel really misled with fireside chats, but I get the idea. Yes, very, very
Yeah.
impressive.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's a cornucopia of industry leaders that are there. IgniteTech's going to be a big part of that as a lead sponsor, and really looking forward to that kind of a conference where it's more business and solution and controversy based, versus tech based. It's not going to be a tech conference. And I think that's super important. I think it's really important that we reach out to the general business community in various ways. So, yeah, that's on tap.
Well, very exciting. Can't wait to get my hands on my personas personally and try it out and onwards and upwards.
I love
Eric,
that.
congratulations on all the success.
Thank you. I love that. I love that you said that. I love that you actually saw it, for your business as well, because that just continues to prove the point. But yeah, thank you, Evan. It's been great. I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise. And thanks everyone for listening and watching and sharing. And until next